I was homeless at the age of 20 and then I became a millionaire at 21, exactly a whole year later. And when I was homeless at the age of 20, I remember going into a McDonald's and buying a cup for pop. And I would keep filling that cup up with Coke and Sprite and all these drinks because that's all I could afford to actually put in my body at that time. And after I was done, I would go outside and I would lay on the road and I'd be freezing cold just sleeping. And I'd look up at the sky and I would talk to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and I'd be like, Ya Allah, I wonder what you have in store for me. I remember the next day I ended up going to this homeless shelter and I was getting enrolled into this homeless shelter. They were giving me the rundown of how things work and they said we can't keep anybody here for more than 90 days. And I told them, I said, I'm not even going to be here for 2 weeks because I'm going to figure my life out. It was that level of certainty and faith that I had in myself that I was able to go from being literally homeless, literally sleeping on the streets, literally being at homeless shelters, to being a millionaire a whole year later. It was that faith in myself. And there's an important lesson here is when you have nothing to lose in life, you have everything to gain. And this is why you should never be afraid of losing everything in your life. This is why you should never be afraid of hitting rock bottom, because when you have nothing to lose in life, you have everything to gain. That is the point in your life where you'll end up having the most faith. There's nothing to fear at that point. Everything's already gone. So it's only going up from here. But we don't have to get to that point. How about we just have faith now? I remember being in that homeless shelter, waking up at early morning, going outside, grinding, coming back at 12, asking the homeless shelter people to hold my food, hold my dinner by the time I got back at like 12 or 1 a.m. I remember there was this one time I got so tired that I fell asleep on this bench outside while waiting for my bus and somebody stole my bike. And I was so furious. I had nothing to lose that I chased after this guy. I said, hey, that's my bike. And he got spooked. He saw that I wasn't really messing around. I had nothing to lose. And that's the interesting thing is when you have nothing to lose, you have everything to gain. So you have so much willpower. So it's not a bad thing to be at rock bottom because there's only going up from there. So if you are at rock bottom, or if you're scared of going to rock bottom, don't be. It's a beautiful place to be able to learn and reflect upon yourself and become somebody better. Because when you have nothing to lose, you have everything to gain. $100 in my account. $100. Canadian dollars. So if we're looking at US dollars, maybe like $70. This is like a few months before I became a millionaire on paper. So my business was doing $100,000 in revenue. That's why I'm a millionaire on paper. A few months before that, I only had $100 in my bank account, Canadian dollars. I started to identify as a millionaire, by the way. Let's say this is my millionaire hat. And I started wearing suits, dress pants, and I started acting like a millionaire. My mom calls my phone. She's like, Charez, you got to go mow the lawn. I'm like, okay. Hang up the phone and I said, I'm a millionaire. Millionaires don't mow the lawn. Millionaires hire their people to mow the lawn because my time is worth more than mowing the lawn. I called some guy, some kid and his father, all right, they came through and I paid him $30 to mow the lawn. $100, subtract 30, now I have $70 left. And the whole time, I'm not doing anything, by the way. It's not like I was doing some revenue generating activity at the time. I was just twiddling my thumbs in my suit, acting like a millionaire, vibrationally aligned while they were cutting my lawn. I'm like, yes, good job. Fantastic. This is the funniest thing that I've actually done to affirm these beliefs, and then I became it. I put on the nicest outfit that I had. Super confident. I go into the mall. I have $70 in my account. Take this in. I walk into the store, watch store, very expensive watch store, and I say, I want to see the most expensive watch you have. I'm identifying as a millionaire, right? I'm in this vibrational alignment. Now, a lot of you might be thinking, wow, you're acting. No. That's it. I've decided. I've vibrational aligned, and I've decided that this is who I am now. And this man shows me his watch collection. The most expensive one's $26,000 Canadian dollars. And I'm like, I was looking for something more expensive than that. That's a little cheap. And he looks at me, eyes open. Eyes open, he's like, really? I mean, I can look at our online catalog. We have some other watches that you could potentially look at. And I'm like, yeah, but I'm running a little busy right now. I have to get going home. I think $26,000 is a little too cheap. It's not in my price range. I was looking for something more expensive. It's a little too cheap for me. Since I'm a millionaire in my mind. I didn't tell him this, but in my mind, I'm a millionaire. He's like, you know what? Let me give you my business card. He gives me his business card. I take it home. And I'm like, whoa, that felt great. And I promise you, months later, I became a millionaire. How crazy is that? Affirmations really work because Allah does not change the condition of the people, my friend, until you just change what is within yourself. So all you have to do is affirm something, not just speak it, not just have empty words, you become it. I'm a millionaire now.